MMA fighters working full-time to put some meal on the table. But wait, aren't they millionaires earning unlimited money for their single bouts? The dark truth is that most of the fighters aren't getting what they deserve. When it comes to MMA, the leader of the sport is UFC. MMA is young, yeah, it's growing fast, but that still isn't enough for them. Many of the MMA fighters work full-time to earn the living. So, who are these legends doing normal jobs? They're coming right away. The Firemen. As a normal, you would think, how do they manage to keep up with their normal jobs and the octagon? But that's not always the case. If the normal job backs you up for good, then you can also focus your fighting skills. Just like Stipe Miocic, a UFC heavyweight champion. The fascinating thing is that he's a fireman in his hometown of Cleveland. When he started his career as a fighter, his normal job made a steady flow of money. That made him improve his skills. Today, he earns an impressive basic salary of $600,000, but that doesn't mean he's quit his job as a fireman. He's been sticking out with both of the worlds. It's because he loves both of his careers. In short, he said, "I like what I do." An engineer. When I said an engineer, what came to your mind that he'll be some nerdy or obsessive fatty? Well, I'm sorry to Gully, but I was talking about the muscular Shane Carwin. A 265-pound beast-like body with tattoos. Just from the looks of this fighter, you'd think he'd be earning a handsome amount of money. But he's not. At least not from the UFC. Shane Carwin is a full-time design engineer and construction manager of North Weld County. He's hard-working and likes reading a lot. He holds degrees in different fields like mechanical engineering, environmental technology, and a minor in business and economics. When UFC offered him a bunch of great money to become a full-time fighter, he declined. His words were something exactly, "I take pride in being a contributing member of society and going to work every day. Something that I love." The Soldier. I know, I'm surprised as well. When every UFC fighter would think that he's a badass, this MMA fighter is a real-time badass. Who am I talking about? Yeah, right, I'm talking about Tim Kennedy. When he was competing in the professional bouts, he was also a member of the U.S. Army. For so many years, he served the U.S. as a Green Beret. In the Army, he was a good sniper, a sniper instructor, and a combat instructor. This is what helped him a lot in his MMA career. When the time came to select a single of his career, he made a strange decision. He didn't want to leave either side. Despite that, he was earning a lot from UFC by then. He still selected to keep up with his career as a soldier. Today, he serves as a National Guard. For him, that was a dream come true. Now he's able to attend fights and focus on it, but also act as a full-time National Guard. The Policeman. When we talked about the Army, how can we forget the police department? From the police department, we have Mike Russo. When he won't be fighting in the octagon, he'd be chasing criminals on the streets of Chicago. The motivative thing about Mike is not that he's a policeman or UFC fighter. The captivating thing is that he's been shot in the career of the cops, while TKO'd inside the ring. He was hurting his body in both careers. He'd manage his 8 hours of work, train, work out, and sleep. This was a demanding lifestyle. Although Mike retired in 2013 from the octagon, he still managed to keep a good record. Out of 18 bouts, he won 15 of them. He's a real hero who struggled a lot with time. The Waiter. Who knows, the next time you'd enter the restaurant and see your favorite fighter serving you as a waiter. That'd be amazing, right? The fighter that we're talking about is Jeff Neal. He works full-time at Moxie's Grill and Bar in Dallas. He's such a great fighter inside the octagon, but the pay rate isn't enough, so he has to work as a full-time waiter. He has a really busy schedule. He works almost every day of the week, but still manages to train and fight. He managed to show the ground to competitive rivals like Mike Perry and Nico Price. Since today, he's a famous UFC fighter, but still working at Moxie's. He isn't shy about showing it to the world, but I've got to say, the UFC career would have earned him a lot of fame in the restaurant and Dallas. The Waitress. It's not like guys are the only ones who have to work extra hours or full-time to keep up with their lives and UFC career. The same can be said for the girls, just like Emily Whitmire. But the most shocking fact is that she's a waitress in several restaurants. Her fans know her as the best upcoming UFC superstar. Although she's earning a couple of $1,000s, still isn't enough for her to keep up with her normal life. She works in 3 pubs and restaurants like Rock Cafe, Cabo Wabo Cantina, and 3 Angry Wives. She's working hard and struggling with her life, but when she's done as a waitress on the weekends, she has to show up in the octagon. But the way her career as a UFC fighter is growing, she's going to have some fun in so little time. A former teacher. This guy's Paul Craig. Inside the octagon, he's known as one of the toughest fighters. But outside the octagon, he's completely different. In his home country, he's famously known for his best works despite that he's a UFC star. One of the best BJJ fighters is a humble man and a great teacher. He was a teacher at the Bellshill Academy of Lanarkshire. His work there was to inspire students and help them improve their vocational skills. He'd do anything to make sure his students are on the right track in life. His students love him for that. For his students, he's a real inspiration. They'll never forget that they got a chance to get cherished from this figurative UFC face. To chase his dreams as a UFC face, he has to give up on teaching. He's a great example for his students that if you want to chase a dream of your life, it doesn't come without sacrifices. Today, he's joined the charity project Skillforce while still competing in the UFC. A real estate agent. Who knows, the next time you want to buy a property and the real estate agent is your cherished UFC fighter. Who knows that the world is so small? A real estate agent is Al La Quinta. Despite that, he's a top 10 lightweight competitor and still struggling with his life. Despite that, he has so much work to do, he didn't give up on his dreams as a UFC fighter. He shares his thoughts as he'll only be fighting in UFC for the next 5 years. But the job of being a real estate agent is going to stick long after that. He's a true inspirational personality. Mainly, he turned toward his job thanks to his knee injuries and being so far away from the fights. This was an inspirational topic. When these fighters managed to fight inside the octagon, they were still haunted by their lives just like a normal person. The list of fighters like them working full-time is unlimited, but it'd be impossible to fit in this video. If you adored our video, then press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more sports videos. Lastly, don't forget to drop down your thoughts. See you at the next one.